Welcome to the Uncanny X-Men number 600 video review. Here we're taking a look at the last X-Men story before Secret Wars hits. There's a lot in this book. It culminates a lot of the storylines that Brian Michael Bendis, the writer, has been working on for quite a while. He has had the longest run of the X-Men in history. So, look at the cover, we see lots and lots of mutants, including Charles Xavier. Does he show up in here? If you're have been following X-Men for a while, that's a big question because he's like dead. Killed by this guy, Scott Summers, the Cyclops, who was possessed by the Phoenix Force at one point. So that has set up a lot of the drama of the X-Men series last couple years, is the X-Men dealing with a lot of problems, including the death of Xavier. One of the big issues has been Henry McCoy's tendency to go and do things without asking people. For example, he brought back the young X-Men, the original young X-Men, back from the past to the future to try and stave off a mutant genocide. So here we see the X-Men and a lot of the different X-students confronting Henry McCoy in basically what's an intervention. Now, Bendis uses a plot device where he flashes back to various other characters to wrap up a lot of the subplots that have been going on over time. So here we see, in the past, before the intervention, Illyana and Peter Rasputin and Kitty Pryde, and Illyana and Peter are brother and sister. Here they kind of make up and wrap up their little sibling issues. Another storyline we've been seeing is with the Amazing X-Men, the young ones from the past. The love triangle, as it were, between Hank McCoy, Jean Grey, and Scott Summers, the young version, has been going on for a while. Lots of issues here. Here, we see Jean describe to Henry her real feelings while they're suspended in midair. Guess who's watching? That could be an interesting subplot down the road. One of the biggest issues we've seen, or controversies, is Bendis making the young version of Iceman gay. He's come out as gay, and here he's confronting his older self, who frankly despises the younger self or acts like it. This is a very emotional scene, and Bendis does great with dialogue. He's almost like a soap opera, which with the X-Men historically that's what it's really been. This is an interesting scene. I won't tell you all the details, but it's poignant and significant. So back to the quote trial. Hank McCoy is, of course, not having a whole lot of, not being very cooperative here. And the other X-Men are basically chiming in saying, you've done this wrong, you've done that wrong, you've done things in our name that have screwed things up, like we're going to bring back the young X-Men. And, of course, one of the better scenes in here is the young and old X-Men, Icemen, feeding off of each other, which, prior to the whole gay coming out thing, has been a real good source of humor between these characters. Bendis is very good at dialogue. This is a good example in one sense. But back to the drama, as it were. The young Henry McCoy, who'd been brought back in time, turns against his older self. The older Hank McCoy storms off, and no pun intended, and basically rejects this whole intervention. Now, I'm not going to get into exactly what happens at the end of this book because, frankly, if you're an X-Men fan, this book is worth reading. The art is good. Various different artists have participated in this book. It's a big book. Bendis covers a lot of territory here. He's ending his run, and he wants to make this, bring all the threads together. So to summarize, this book, Uncanny X-Men 600, wraps up Bendis' long run. The next piece in the X-Men history chronologically will be the Secret Wars piece. Secret Wars, pardon the blank space here, Secret Wars comes up and changes the Marvel Universe. The next book after Words is Extraordinary X-Men number 1, which we will cover when we get there. For now, this is SuperheroReviews.com. Thank you for joining us.